years ago. Others will go into the full details and legal implications of the ruling in a moment, but I just want to highlight the significant step forward that this represents in our fight for fair maps and real representation. I also want to thank everyone who has made it possible for us to get this far. If you signed a petition, voted for Prop 4, advocated on the Hill, emailed or called your representatives, donated, volunteered, or even just talked to friends and neighbors about our cause, this victory belongs to you. I want to especially thank the plaintiffs and the legal team whose tireless, diligent efforts over the last 3 years got us to this point. Better Boundaries is founded on the principle that Utahns deserve a real voice in their government, and today's ruling gets us one step closer to making that vision a reality. Now I'm excited to introduce David Ryman, who will give more details about the specifics of the ruling.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I know a lot of you have questions. We're going to do that at the end. So, and as a lot of you know, this ruling just came out, and so we're all still digesting it. But I will tell you that it is immediately apparent to anybody who's been able to spend any amount of time with the ruling that it is a watershed moment in Utah for the voices of Utah voters. We have maintained from the start that the legislature in this state is not king, that their power derives from the people, and they exist to serve the will of the people. And today, the voice of Utah voters was vindicated by the district court, which held that the legislature cannot ignore what Utah voters enact without consequence. And we are gratified by the incredible amount of work that the district court obviously put into this ruling. We look forward to engaging in the process that the district court has laid out for us to engage in, all with the goal of getting a fair map in place for the 2026 election cycle. And we think that the district court has laid out a process that will allow us to give to voters what they voted for so many years ago, which is a map that is not stacked in favor of one party, but rather adheres to the neutral criteria that voters enacted when they enacted Prop 4. And fundamentally, this is a win for the voters of Utah who have, since the founding of this state, the sovereign power to alter or reform their government. And the message from the district court is that those types of reforms cannot be discarded by the legislature without very good reason. And the court found that the legislature's repeal of Prop 4 in this case was unconstitutional, and as a result, the voice of the voters has been heard.
Good evening. I am Emma Petty Adams. I'm with Mormon Women for Ethical Government and one of the plaintiffs in the case, and we are so proud to stand here today alongside the League of Women Voters and the other plaintiffs and all Utahns who believe in fair representation to show that we have prevailed. This is a significant and meaningful victory, not just for the plaintiffs standing up here today, but for every Utahn who believes that government should serve the people. For us at MWAG, this case has always been about the source of political power. We believe that it originates with the people. The people loan it to our elected officials, and those representatives must be accountable to the people. When citizens come together and act in good faith to improve that government, we deserve to be heard, not silenced. The court today reaffirmed that citizens have both the right and the responsibility to reform unjust systems, and that this right cannot be discarded by elected officials for their own political convenience. We thank the court for upholding that principle and recognizing that voter-driven reform is not only supported by the Utah State Constitution, it is essential to a functioning democracy. To our state leaders, we want to say, let's work together to create a more representative government. The people have spoken. The courts have spoken. Now is time to move forward with cooperation and respect for the rule of law. And to the many Utahns who have followed this case with frustration, but also with patience and with hope, this win belongs to you. It proves that civic engagement matters, that principled persistence matters, and that our systems can be a vehicle for positive change. We are deeply grateful to our legal team, our fellow plaintiffs, and the thousands of committed citizens who made this case possible. We remain determined as ever to continue to build a more ethical, inclusive, and representative government for all Utahns. Thank you.
So Emma couldn't have said this better. I'm Catherine Bealey with the League of Women Voters. The League couldn't be happier with this win for the Utah voters. This is a win for you. We believe in representative government. We hope it sends a message to the legislature that we want to work with them. We want to work hand in hand with them because representatives should represent their voters. It is not the other way around. That is what we have been fighting for since 2018, a long time maybe before that. But thank you very much. I have to thank our partners, our legal team, and certainly the people of Utah who came out and voted for this. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ryan Bell. I'm on the board of Better Boundaries. We are ecstatic tonight. We were so grateful to see what the 3rd District Court did. One of the lines that I loved the most that I read in this decision is that Prop 4 is now the law of Utah. That is a fight that has been ongoing for many years. It may continue, but as of tonight, an injunction is in place stating that Prop 4 governs. I also loved what the court wrote about the shared power. The court stated that legislating, that redistricting is an act of legislating, and legislating is equally shared between the legislature and the people. Yes. This is a wonderful innovation of democratic representative government, and I am grateful to live in a land where that is respected and will be enforced. We see tonight that the Constitution works. Checks and balances work, our judicial system works, and our time-tested system of representative democratic government is going to remain strong after today. We respect the power that the legislature has. We expect the legislature to respect the power that the people have. Now, I just want to take one moment to reflect on what this means. This is something larger than Utah. What this means is that we will have more free and fair elections in Utah, and we will send to our Congress people more accountable and less extreme. Utah will be responsible for having a less polarized Congress. I hope that Utah will become a beacon to many other states that pass similar laws, fight gerrymandering, and have fair election maps so that we can have a more balanced and representative and accountable Congress, just as the founders envisioned so long ago. We're so grateful to you all. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who has spoken so far. We have time for a few questions if anyone would like to ask them.
So do you think that given what's happening in Texas, California, Maryland, potentially New York and other states, you become ground zero in this?
Right now we are focused on Utah, making sure that we get this fair map. If that sends a message, I mean, Utah has always been different. We've always been somewhere where we value representation. We value these efforts. We've been fighting it for 7 years. And so we're just going to be solely focused right now on just getting these new maps implemented. And so we have fair representation here.
And what makes you think the legislature is going to go along with this?
Well, we trust that the legislature will respect the will of the people and the courts.
Based on what the legislature has done on each step in the process throughout this case, what are you anticipating might come next as we move into a special session next month? 30 days from now.
In the decision, the Judge Gibson outlined a clear timeline on when they need to submit the maps and clear steps and meetings that will come. So I just reflect to the decision. They have a month to submit the new map. and then there'll be proceedings after this. So we'll just go with that timeline.
Given the timeline, but also possibility of appeals or maybe some other maneuvering the legislature might do between now and deadline for 2026, how likely do you think it is to actually get a new map for 2026 election?
We're going to move this along as quickly as we possibly can, and we're going to make sure this timeline is followed to the best of our abilities, and we hope the legislature will respect that decision.
Do you think it will be 2026?
We're working toward 2026.
Are you expecting the state to appeal?
We are expecting that. Yes.
Thank you.